Growing up in Brooklyn, cannabis was very easily accessible. As an athlete and an honor kid, I tried my best to stay away. But it was in the 8th grade that one of my best friends was actually shot in the head for a nickel bag. Then in the 9th grade, my mother was murdered in front of me in Brooklyn. And the murderer was a tenant in my house, and he was high when he did it. So after that, I hated cannabis. I didn't want to touch it. The stigma was starting to be created for me. You fast forward, as an adult, playing semi-pro basketball in the ABA, the American Basketball Association. I was playing against ANGELO'S and I tore my ACL. And I did all the work and got healthier, and I re-tore my ACL again after the 6 months. The pain that I felt from that knee was so excruciating that I asked the doctors for some pain medicine. They gave me Oxy. After a day or two of taking Oxy, I couldn't do it. I didn't like who I was. And thank God, because now I see how that has impacted some people's lives. But the reality is I made a choice and I said I didn't want to do it anymore. And one of my friends said, just try smoking weed. And I said, well, weed is weed. What can weed do for me? I took a hit and it was the best temporary solution I could have ever had. I traded that Oxy in for some weed and I started consuming. And of course I had to look at myself in the mirror. You're a pothead. You're a stoner. You hate cannabis. The man who murdered your mom was high when he did it. Therefore, cannabis is bad. Cannabis makes people do bad things. I faced all of that. I looked myself in the mirror and I broke down that stigma. And it was in standing there that I realized it was all here. It was all me. And when I realized that it was all me, I can now look around. I wonder what other stigmas everyone else has. What I didn't recognize after the few years of consuming, though, was that I was living authentically. I was getting closer to having a certain relationship and responsibility with this plant. You fast forward maybe a year or two, I receive a full scholarship to go back and get my MBA from an Ivy League university. Oh, one would think that I stopped smoking so that I could focus on school, right? I smoked every single day at Cornell. I did fantastic. In fact, I learned about the creative side of me. I competed in a startup world with some of the most brightest minds there are. It's not just about smoking a joint. It's really about reaping the benefits that this plant has to offer us. And that is exactly what we're aiming to do, is help people understand how they can have a symbiotic relationship with this plant that is both healthy and responsible. Through my journey of my adolescence and through the testimony that I've gone through, this plant was helping heal me. I've done therapy my whole life, social workers, you name it. But something was missing, and it was the confronting of myself with this pressure, the stigma, my past. And that is where I found this euphoric thing, which is the healing. This plant has so much to offer and can play so many roles in so many different individuals' lives, but it's about that right balance. If you're an individual that is curious, that has never consumed before, that has consumed before but maybe had a bad experience, a person who's consuming all the time but still has that missing void, we want you to join our community. We want you to learn about our products. We want you to see the value in a true farm-to-table approach of where we open up that back door and teach you everything that you might need to know about this plant so that you can make better decisions.